Hello, everyone. Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin. And if you tuned into the Super Bowl this year, you might have noticed a controversial Ring camera ad that is aimed for finding lost pets using a neighborhood wide surveillance system called Search Party. And here to talk with me about that and its implications is an expert in AI powered cloud based video surveillance, Brivo CEO Dean Drako. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So could you tell us a little bit about what you do at Brivo and what it is?
So Brivo is a security company, physical security company, and we were the first company to introduce and invent cloud-based access control, which is those cards that open up doors for folks. And we were the first company to then introduce cloud-based video surveillance systems to make them more convenient, more accessible, and more powerful with AI.
And as far as your career, I guess, how did you get in the industry and like what made you want to go into this line of work?
I was the CEO and founder of Barracuda Networks in the early 2000s and brought to market the first spam firewall and became a cybersecurity expert. Around 2011 or 12, I started to get an interest in physical security as well. And in particular, my interest stemmed from trying to protect my employees at Barracuda. I realized that there was a big gap in the technology there and that no one was deploying cloud technology. And so I started companies to basically go and bring advanced cloud and AI technology to the physical security world.
And when it comes to these high capability AI features, they obviously need very clear guardrails and safeguards. What sort of implementations are being used to ensure that?
Well, it's how the video and systems are used with AI. The key thing that I think needs to be the focus is privacy. Okay, people are very concerned about privacy, and they should be concerned about privacy. People shouldn't be accessing video of yours without your permission. It's your video; it should be yours. And so at Brivo, we have a very strong stance that the video that is recorded on your cameras is your video, and no one will get access to it. No technology will get access to it. No searching will be done on it. And I think the real focus needs to be on rules, regulations, and understanding and disclosures around the true privacy.
And you mentioned the importance of privacy. Obviously, what was your immediate take, I guess, seeing that commercial? And then I guess what advice would you have for people who might be, I guess, pretty freaked out about it?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope when you start to use video that's not yours to help people, right? The thought is that helping people is a good thing. One would kind of think that finding lost dogs and that everyone would be willing and capable to donate or donate their video to that type of cause. But the issue was is that the opt-in was kind of by default on, and so that most customers wouldn't opt out, and so they would be kind of involuntarily allowing their video to be used. And I think that that was a big cause or a big part of the emotional reaction to this. If it was done the other way, I think it might have been more acceptable. If, for example, if someone was looking for their dog and a note went out to everybody and said, are you willing to volunteer your video? People could have chosen, might have gone over a little better. But it's about involuntary privacy violation. I think that's the real issue.
And could you go into a little bit about broad and default access and kind of explain what those are and why it increases that risk, even if the intentions are good, like you said?
Did you say default access?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you introduce a new feature or a new capability in a SaaS product or a cloud-based product, such as Ring or Brivo or Eagle Eye Video that Brivo provides, you have to determine whether by default that feature is on for everybody, or by default that feature is off for everybody. In and if it's off, well, then it doesn't change anything, and it doesn't change your contract with the customer, or it doesn't change your customer's understanding of what the product's going to do. If you default it on, okay, well, now all of a sudden you're changing the behavior of the product, and you haven't really disclosed to the customer that you're doing that. And so it's a little insidious.
And with technology that continues to rapidly evolve every day in regards to like face matching and obviously object tracking with trying to find your lost pet and everything, I guess what do you see in the future with this technology and how it can be implemented?
Well, there's a lot of benefits to AI in video surveillance. In the case of traditional video surveillance systems, which have been around for maybe, I don't know, 50 years or plus, most of the video, nearly all of the video, is never watched, by anyone. Okay, 99.9% of it is never viewed, and so there's a little bit of kind of privacy that was in the video by obscurity. But with AI and the deployment of big AI systems, we can now watch all of that video all the time. And so I think the privacy kind of concerns come to be much more front and center. Okay. Now, there's a lot of benefit to watching all the cameras all the time. They can be used for many good things. You could use the cameras for making sure if detecting if someone slips and falls. At Brivo, we've just recently introduced visual gun detection, which is being deployed at schools and places of worship to detect, if there's gunmen approaching or entering the premises, and alerting and warning so that, folks can take action and protect themselves. Those are really good uses of a lot of AI. But again, you have to come back to the privacy. In this case, it's the church's cameras and the church is using them. It's the school's cameras and the school is using them to protect their students. It's not someone else gaining access to those cameras and using them to find people or find dogs or what else. And so privacy is maintained. And so AI with the right privacy kind of constraints will be very, very beneficial in the video surveillance.
Yeah, and you mentioned that these organizations, churches, schools, it's their own footage. But I know with Ring, they've previously partnered with law enforcement if there's like porch pirates and stuff like that. So is there, I guess, with Brivo, do y'all work closely with law enforcement, or do y'all have like very, very strict things that saying like this is your footage, we will never ask you for this ever?
Yeah, I mean, we're very strict. And so law enforcement requests actually go to the customer, not to us. Okay. And the customer makes the decision about what they're going to provide law enforcement and what they're not going to provide law enforcement. That's generally how it works. And to date, there's been no exceptions to that. So that's a good way because then the customer is in control.
And where can people find more information and learn more about Brivo?
We operate a website, www.brivo.com, where you can learn all about our commercial business offerings for both video surveillance and access control. We also have a website at www.een.com, which is for Eagle Eye Networks, which is the product video platform name that we provide via Brivo.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything that you wanted to say before we head out of here?
No, I think that, video surveillance and the cloud and AI are going to really make the world a safer place. And we're on a mission to help do that.
All right. Thank you so much again for your time. This is amazing.
All right, Anthony. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Have a good day.
And if you haven't yet, be sure to visit KTAL News Now, which is where you can get all of your local breaking and trending news stories. And that is streamed on our website at ktalnews.com. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.